Hello and welcome to Noni, Yanga's flagship talk show where we discuss all the hot topics. Today we take a look at the challenges around dating, from the baggage people bring to new relationships to the effects shows such as Love Island have had on our ability to date. And we discuss the rise in popularity of open relationships. Joining me today, social media star Esther Falana, broadcast journalist Afia Adom, and TV presenter Miss D. Welcome, ladies. Looking beautiful.
Thank you.
For many of us, looking for love is never easy. And for single mums, dating when you have children from a previous relationship can bring up all kinds of challenges. So does having children make dating harder? And what are the challenges single mums face when they date? And if you don't have children, would you want to date someone who does? Miss D, let me come to you because you're the only lady on the panel that doesn't have a child. When you're looking for love, if a guy has a baby mother, is that a no-go?
Off the top of my head, it is a no-go. I wouldn't do it, but then there are a lot of different factors to consider before, you know, making the decision,
Well, tell me about those factors.
For example, his relationship with the baby mama, like, are they cool? Is it that she's crazy, or is it like, because some women can be,
we've seen
some women can be, exactly. So is it that, you know, they're fine? Do they have a good relationship? If they don't, then that's a red flag for me. I'm not going there. Also, like, financially as well, can he provide for his family before thinking of getting into a relationship with me? And they're just different factors.
There's just a lot of different factors to that.
But off the top of my head, no, I wouldn't do it.
Afia, what do you think about that response?
Do you know what? I think she's absolutely right, and you've nailed it. I think the problem, or the issue, rather than the problem, would be the relationship that the father has with the mother, rather than the actual child themselves. I think that is where the issues can rise. I mean, I've dated, you know, one or two people whilst being a single mum, and I think because I have maintained quite a civil, straight down the line, there's no emotions in relationship with her father, then it's never interfered with any of my other relationships. And I think that's the key, because the man that comes into your life is already going to be a little bit insecure, perhaps, because you do have this child, and it's a visual evidence of the relationship that you've had before and a tie that you could have. But if you don't have a good relationship with the father of your child, that's going to make the new relationship even harder. So I think you're right. It's about the other relationships involved.
It's not about the child, Esther. It's about sorry to say, the baggage that comes with the father or the mother. Can you understand that?
Yeah, I personally, when I'm dating, I like to date someone that's in a similar situation as me. So I don't date.
So you're actively looking for baby fathers?
Well, for some reason I attract, you know, when I ask do you have kids, 9 times out of 10 they do have kids.
Wow.
And because I tend to go for guys that are a bit older than me or my age. So if you're older than me, my age, and I'm going on 27, like, you're naturally, guys are in their 30s, they have kids already. So you know, I tend to attract the type of person that is in the same situation as me. I wouldn't be open to dating someone that doesn't have children. The reason I wouldn't be is because I just feel like, as you said, the baggage, like, there's a clear understanding when we're both in the same situation.
Yes.
You understand? I do believe in what you've both said in terms of the relationship with the mother of your child. It has to be important. It has to be, you know, civil. It has to be well together, because if I come into your life, I'm also an extra baggage, because I come with baggage. You know, I believe that there has to be some form of civil relationship between the two adults that are involved, but at the same time as well, you also need to consider, I've got a child, how are you going to come into my life and, you know, help me, or in terms, not even help me with my child, but are you going to come?
You have to add some sort of
you have to add some form of value. Exactly. So
let me come to you, Miss D. How common is it in the dating scene to find men that do have children? You said you kind of avoid them, but then of course if you're talking to a guy online or you've met him at a club, you're not going to know if he's not carrying it, is he? He's not carrying the belly of pregnancy, is he?
The people that I interact with do not tend to have children. I have met 1 or 2 guys that have had children, and once he told me he had a child, I kind of just stopped talking to him, just because, like I said, I'm young. I'm just not trying to. It's going to put a strain on the relationship to an extent, especially if the relationship with his baby mama isn't too great.
What if you really liked him, you know? You don't know.
I wouldn't get to that stage. Do you understand?
Hey,
I feel like
you know what you want.
I know what I want, exactly. And I ask certain questions before I get to a point where I let myself open up to you. So if I do ask you, this is definitely a question I would be asking you. Like, do you have a child? are you even single? Do you understand? Because
First question, are you even single?
Are you even single? Because a lot of men just be.
You didn't ask me 6 months later, did you ask if I was married?
And he will tell you that. Men do those kind of things.
You said you've dated whilst being a single mother.
Yeah.
Have you experienced reactions like Miss D's where you haven't told them, because I'm assuming you're not going to tell every guy you meet on the first day you meet them, I've got a child, or are you?
Do you know what I actually do? I'm very upfront about the fact that I have a child, and
Straight away, so as soon as you're talking to a guy, he asks for your number. I've got a daughter, just to let you know.
Pretty much, because if someone's interested, I want to be really upfront with them. I'm not saying that you're meeting her, it's not that, but I'm letting you know that we come as a package. And I've never experienced that where they're like, no, not interested, except in one case where it was 4 months down the line when he was like, actually, I can't date anyone who has a child, and I was like, but
Why do you
four months ago? Why are you wasting my time?
Esther, you know, we've spoken about dating before, and you've told us about your successful story of being a single mum. Are you very cautious about bringing men home?
I don't bring men home, unfortunately. My daughter hasn't met anyone that I've introduced as a boyfriend.
Why?
That's because, like you said, I'm very cautious. My daughter is my life. And like when I do meet someone, it's just my daughter. I have a daughter flows out of my tongue, even if I don't want it to come out. It just is like, you know, oh yeah, I've got a daughter. So, and the way I carry her and the way I value her.
How do you date? So you never bring a guy home?
I don't bring a guy home. Like when I'm dating, there's restaurants, there's clubs, there's
Airbnb.
You know, exactly. There's so many other places we can meet up.
Yeah.
But for me to bring you into my personal space, that means I must really think that there's something is going to progress.
Afia, do you agree with
Yeah,
that?
absolutely. I agree. I agree with what you said. The phrase "I have a daughter" just flows out. But also, I totally agree with, if you're coming into my life and in my personal space, that because it means something. So no, not every guy I've dated gets that privilege, and I don't think they should. You can't be introducing your sons or daughters to a new guy every weekend. It just doesn't work.
Too many uncles is not a good
I'm
thing.
telling
You must, Miss D, have some, you know, single mum friends who are dating. Do you think sometimes it's hard for single mums to date, especially when they have an opinion like yours? And to be honest, your opinion is probably similar to a lot of our viewers. But there are some people that have quite a traditional view and just don't want to go there. Even if I like you, just don't want to go there because you have children.
So yeah, that's the case for a lot of people, and like I said, that's the case for me. I don't really have any friend that, you know, has a child or anything like that, so I can't really speak on it. But like I said, it just depends on the situation. If you get to a point where you actually like this person, you know, like all the other factors I mentioned is something that you consider, and then you see how you're going to take it.
Let me throw something to Esther and Afia. You know, do your children ever crave you falling in love?
Yeah, my daughter
do they understand? Because they're both very young, aren't they? I think
Yeah.
they're the same age.
Yeah.
5?
My daughter's 5, yeah.
6 and a
Six.
half, yeah.
How?
My daughter, because my daughter's around her dad's in a situation, so she's around that.
A situation,
so,
a
like in a relationship,
Okay,
yeah. The situation, whatever you want to call it.
No comment.
But yeah, so he's in a relationship, and so she's around that. So, and as well as that, there's a lot of all these Disney programs, you know, Let It Go, Frozen, you know, Cinderella. Happily Ever After. The message behind it is love. It's you know, having a princess and a prince come together and be in love. So my daughter watches these TV programs and these films and says, "Mum, like I remember there was a time she was watching the show and she was like, Mum, I can't wait for you to be in love like this." And she was pointing to and as well as that, she also says she wants a sibling. So those are all the things and the pressures as well of wanting to, you know, settle down and wanting to, you know, because I would love to have more kids. I would love to, you know, get married. I would love all those things, but I value myself very highly and I know what I want and I'm not going to compromise.
Do you never settle? Never settle.
I mean,
It's not worth it.
I've talked to you about this before, how Naima is desperate for a sibling, and she's the same. She just wants me to fall in love and get married, and she wants to be a bridesmaid.
Well, you're on Noni now. Loads of people watching. We've got some pretty ladies with you. Still to come, we look at the ways shows such as Love Island have changed our perception of dating, and we look at the rise in popularity of open relationships. See you after the break. Welcome back to Noni. Now we've all seen or at least heard everyone talking about it. Love Island, a group of uber attractive singles living in an exotic villa for weeks, and we watch as they hop from person to person and bed to bed. But is this a true reflection of the dating scene today? Is dating still taken seriously, and is anyone really looking for love? Now, Esther, one of the contestants on Love Island, is 22 years old and admitted to sleeping with 200 women. Now, I think it's a lie because I can't imagine, but I've had people, you know, the producer saying it's true. People do actually count and they know. Is this a reflection of today's society?
No, I don't think it's. I know. Do you know what it is? I do think it's a reflection for the men. Yeah, it is a reflection for the men in today's society. Men are reckless. They will sleep and hop around from bed to bed like no man's business. In terms of the show itself and what it represents, I think the show. I heard a lot of mixed reviews about the show. I've been watching it and keeping up with it as well.
I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan as well. But the only thing I would say, does it reflect the show itself? Does it reflect today's dating? No, I don't believe so. I feel like it does to a certain degree, but I think it depends on the environment that you've grown up in. That's not my type of environment. I haven't grown up in that society where we hop from bed to bed.
Yeah, you go out, you get on the lash, and you're having one-night stands.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas that's their environment. You know, you've got people that are from Essex, you know, that have grown up, you know, they've
only down the road from you.
It's down the road, yeah, but like, you know, I come from a predominantly black, you know, community where, you know, we're African, we've been raised to have morals and values, and doing things like that is just anti, you know.
Gosh, okay. You know, I can imagine the comments you're going to get after that. But, Afia, you know, you've dated. Have you experienced online dating? And is it literally people now just looking for who they can sleep with and moving on to the next?
I mean, online dating is like, it's the Hunger Games of dating. It really is. It's
disposable dating.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, there is just some real weirdos out there, like people that are just looking to put another notch on their bedpost, and they want you to be 205 or 210. And what I really think things like Love Island does, don't get me wrong, it's pure entertainment, right? It's pure entertainment value. It's not a real place. I mean, for goodness sake, no one walks around in a bikini all day. It's not real life. It's a game show, and I think we should all remember that. It's like social media. It doesn't exist. It's like not a real thing. But I think what things like Love Island does and online dating does is take away the fun of dating. It takes away the romance. It's back to that whole Disney thing.
It's like a pressure to sleep with someone.
What about courting and holding hands?
Misty, what do you think about dating today? Do you think it is about somebody literally just wanting to get down your pants, or is there still space for love and, you know, getting a connection? You said you like to communicate.
Yeah, I think there's still space for love, but a lot of the people right now just want to do and go. Like, that's everyone's mindset, and I'm like...
Even women, do you think?
Some women are like that, and I feel like for a woman to be like that, she has to have a certain mind frame. You don't just wake up as a woman and decide that I want to sleep around or whatever. You have to have been hurt. You have to have been hurt to a certain degree or experience some certain things that push your mind in that mind frame. And I feel like you're only in that mind frame for a certain period of time.
You know,
it's like a phase.
It's a phase.
I get what you're saying, yeah, because I do understand that. It's like we act on our emotions. Exactly. But I will say this though, as much as the certain things that I see on the show that I don't agree with, it has proven and shown that there have been couples from the previous series who have actually who are getting married, who have had children. So it does show, there is a positive where it shows that people can find love and build something even after being...
In a modern way, which is fast,
after being still love. Because even when I watched it, one of the girls that are getting married, she was hurt. She had been broken. She'd been, you know, she'd been dumped by one guy, and then she found someone who she was paired with.
You're an avid watcher.
And so it does have positive sides to it.
I don't watch it, so I can't really
it does, you know.
But it's basically social media on telly.
But I also think that, the guys are, I mean, you've got Adam on there who said he slept with 200 women. Listen, I know one of the female contestants on Love Island. I'm not going to name her, but I know she's lied about her number, and it's much, much more than she is.
Oh, how do you know?
I can't tell you that. But I'll just give you the tea after, girls. But so the girls are as bad as the guys.
Why do you think she would lie? Because I would actually think that people lie and give their numbers higher.
Not women.
Because she knows that it's shameful.
And I know. What's a shameful number?
To me,
It's a lot of factors.
What's
that
a
you
shameful number?
But you have to-
I know.
People say-
200
people
is a
say-
shameful number. Come
It
on.
On the
depends
lower
on
end,
your age
200 is
group.
shameful
People say
in
above
any language,
five.
at any age.
Guys say above 5 if your body count is above 5, you know.
You're a hoe.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I'm
but that's
like,
for your age group, though.
I guess so.
Yeah,
How old are
exactly.
you?
I guess I'm
Misty?
23.
23.
Okay, so I'm
yeah.
like twice your age.
Yeah.
So, okay, not actually twice.
3 times.
Thank you. So I think, like at mine and Juliana's age, had to bring you in there. if you know your number is, you know, 10 or less, that's fine. But
I think if you can't count it on your hands.
yeah, it's too many.
Do you know,
And
I personally feel like we're at the age and we're in a society today where why do you need to know my number?
Thank you.
Like, what's your
Thing.
own? My past is my past, your past is your past. When we have come together to come as one, whatever your past is, I have to be willing to accept it and not, that's your
That's
past. You know what I mean? What God has brought together, let no man pour asunder.
Amen.
Like, this is me and you, so regardless of what your numbers are, I don't believe I need to ask, and I don't believe you need to ask. There is something that's attracted us together to make us decide to get together. So
Yeah.
let's not allow
It doesn't
negativity.
matter if you slept with
Yeah.
500 girls
That's your
in
business.
East London.
That's your business.
That's your business. Anthea, your opinion, yeah.
Why bring it into the relationship? You might as well bring those 500 people in. I'll bring my 2 people in. Why do we need 504 people in this relationship? It's not necessary.
Yeah.
I don't think people should ask.
Yeah.
Leave your number at the door. And unless one of them comes knocking, then we've got a problem.
The
But
only
leave
time
your
I
number
feel
at
like
the
you
door.
might need to disclose is if it's close to home.
Exactly.
If it's
what-
someone that-
Well, if you slept with 500 people, you're bound to know one of them. But anyway, guys, we're going to move on. Many relationships are built around the idea of monogamy, but what about open relationships, from the likes of Jada and Will to precious actress Monique? It seems there are a lot of couples doing it these days, but when it comes to being open, what are the rules and is it sustainable? Anybody take this?
No.
No?
However, if you do get into it, set your rules, set your guidelines,
What
stick
rules?
to it.
What
no,
are the
that
rules?
if you're sleeping with someone, I need to know that you're sleeping with this person. If you're talking to someone,
See, can you
I
see,
need
this
to
is-
know.
this-
So maybe I feel like they would say, you know, let's have an honest. The honesty will be a key part of an open relationship. Like when you do go sleep with someone, tell your partner, that type of thing.
Okay,
That might
let
work
me
for
let,
them.
let me
It's
give
just blowing my mind.
Jada Pinkett Smith. We all know her. We all love
Yeah.
her. She said about Will, he's got all the freedom in the world, and as long as Will can look himself in the mirror and be okay, I'm good. That's her talking about
Say
an
what?
open relationship. Do you get that?
So basically, she's saying that as long as he most probably doesn't get somebody pregnant, basically,
Or give somebody-
or
Yeah.
give someone STIs or
Or
whatever.
hopefully, you know, protected himself.
Yeah, like basically, I personally, I believe once you take the vows and say I do, you know, an open relationship is off the cards.
What about if you're not married?
If you're not married and you're young, I'm not for open relationships, but I do understand in today's society, like there's so many kids out here who just want to just jump from bed to bed. So some people, and as well as that, let's be honest, statistics show that there are more men than there are women in the world. So naturally, a lot of women are settling, you know, they're happy that, you know what, at least I've got a little bit of him, so I don't mind sharing
Polygamy,
him.
you're talking
you know,
about.
Exactly, some of them don't mind it. I personally, I'm a very selfish person. What's mine is mine, and I'll be pulling it all the time.
You're not sharing
Yeah, I'm
it.
not sharing it, but there's other people who are willing to make those sacrifices and willing to just, you know what, I'll have a piece of you. As long as I still got a piece of you, I don't mind sharing you.
It's like it's almost like being a mistress, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Like, I'm never able to be anybody's side chick,
Yeah.
side dish. I'm a main course, right?
But what, you're the main. Okay,
I'm
but
the
let's
main-
say
no,
That's
there's
her
no other,
dessert
but let's
there's
say,
no other
every day.
let's say
dishes.
you're the main course, and he says,
wants
"Baby, I
dessert.
love you." But on the weekend,
No.
I
On
want to
the
be with her.
weekend-
I don't
no,
love her.
no.
You can do it too. We both can do it. I see how you look at
I
him.
haven't got time for that.
No.
No. Like Esther, I'm a very selfish person. My man is my man during the week and the weekend. 7 days a week, 365
Why
days
do you
a
think
year.
it's
I can't
becoming
share.
popular, Misty? Why?
Because men cheat. So I feel
Women
like
cheat as well.
Women cheat as well, but I feel like men cheat more than women. I don't know. There's no statistics that
No,
I'm basing
that's
this
your-
off,
yeah.
but this is my opinion. So women might then decide that, you know what, since he's going to cheat anyways, I might as well
accept it,
and then start living that
but
life.
to be fair, that's a good point though, because
true.
some people said, you know, Jay-Z and Beyonce may be in an open relationship. She spoke about it in Lemonade, but because she's accepting it, if you close your eyes, like we've seen it with the footballers' wives, we've seen it with celebs. If you're accepting it, you're basically saying, do what you like. That's an open relationship.
I think it also boils down to some of our culture. You know, some of the culture that is displayed is that a man can have multiple wives.
Which culture?
You know, no, let's be honest.
No, but I know what you mean.
And religion, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So some men are raised in a household where all they know is to cheat. And nowadays, in my generation, in my age group today, men are tired. Like, they realise that even just being honest, you don't get the same amount of stress that you will get when you lie and say, you're the only one.
But
right
you know,
now,
for them to get to that point, they've experienced something.
There's men out there that'll just be like, listen, I just want an open relationship. Like, I'm just listen, you can do what you like. I just want you. You know what I want from you, and that's it. There are men out there that are willing to do that because now the hassle, because there's so many women accepting it. There's the hassle of having to lie and having to create a story, having to sneak around. It's now carefree. I told you from the beginning what it was. Why are you upset with me? Do you understand?
But then that ruins it for the rest of us who
just
want our man to be our man.
Do you know what, guys? I
I
think there's a man out there for all of us with all of our needs. They're multiple. Well, guys, that's it from me, Juliana Olayinka, and my fantastic guests today, Esther Falana, Afia Adam, and Miss D. Now, guys, don't forget, Noni's now online wherever you are in the world. Go to www.yangatv.com to check out every single episode. Join me next time for more Noni Chat. Goodbye.